Hi everyone, this is Robin from mypinkstamper.com, and today I'm going to show you a quick tutorial using the new Cricut Craft Room software that's free from Cricut.com, and I'm using the new Cricut Mini, and I'm going to show you how they work together and how it's really super simple. The first thing I'm going to do is, if you haven't already, go to Cricut.com/Craft Room and download the free software, and I have mine already. Okay, so I'm going to skip this part. Okay, I had just logged in really quick, didn't want you guys to see my personal information right there, so I had to skip over that part. But I have some of the projects that I've worked on over here, and I'm going to go ahead and open up a new one by clicking down on the bottom. I'm going to open up new, and I'm going to type this in. Let's do Paris Cupcakes. I'm going to do part 2 because I've already tried this one earlier. And so I'm doing Paris Cupcakes. And now you can mess around and use any Cricut cartridge that's in the software, but in order to cut it, you have to actually own the Cricut cartridge. And I'm not going to show you that process right now. What I'm going to show you is just designing and cutting and how easy it is. Now if you go on the left hand side down to the options, you can pick which machine you're working with. And I've used the Cricut Imagine on here, the Cricut Expression 2, the Cricut Expression. You can also use the Cricut Create, the Cricut Cake, and we're going to be using the Cricut Mini. So let me show you. If I was doing the Cricut Imagine, it automatically changes the mat to the Cricut Imagine mat for me. And now we're using the Cricut Mini, and it's going to change it to the Cricut mat, Cricut Mini mat. And that's an 8.5 by 12 inch mat. It's not the 12 by 12 or, you know, the 6 by 12. So if you're changing the machine, it's going to set the right mat for you. I am going to a Christmas party tonight, and I'm in charge of the cupcakes, of course. And my friend Mary has made everything a theme. So it's a Paris theme. The desserts are on a Paris themed table. So she wanted me to do Eiffel Towers on the top of my cupcakes. And I'm already in this is my pink loft. So I didn't want to have to pull out everything. I just have my Cricut Mini right next to me. I'll show it to you in just a minute. I'm not working from the studio today. I'm actually in the loft, the smaller room, the more unprofessional room, which is how I like it. I'm just in my jammies still too, if you want to know the truth. It's been one of those days. Okay, so what I'm going to do is down at the bottom where you can pick the type of cartridge. I just like to go in all types because I like to scroll down and see all of the cartridges that there are. And see, let's see here. And now I'm doing the one that is French Manor, and I know that that's an exclusive one. I'm a member of the Cricut Circle. If you don't have French Manor, and you want to make a project like this, there are other cartridges that do have the Eiffel Towers on them. You just have to find them. Okay, but that's a great thing about the Cricut Craft Room is you can take hours just looking through and seeing the cartridges that you want to buy. If you don't own them yet, you can just look through and see what you want. Now this is a really simple cut on the French Manor. I am just going to be cutting this Eiffel Tower. So I'm going to either double click on it and it will automatically be pulled on my mat, or I can drag it onto my mat where I want it. Okay, now this looks a little bit too big. I'm going to just pull it. I'm sorry, you can just grab it and pull it to where you want it on your mat. Now I'm going to make them about, let's see, I'm thinking about 2 3/4 or 3 inches. So I'm going to take the right hand side. I love this. This is just so easy to do. I can just make it smaller like that. Now what I can also do is you can use the arrows on the right side to make it wider. Or you can make it longer by using the arrow on the bottom. You can slant it by using the arrow on the top right. You can flip it, do all sorts of things. Now I'm going to make 4 of these across. So what I'm going to do is up here on the top, I'm going to copy it and paste it. And then I'm going to just re-highlight this one over here so I can see. And now if I didn't re-highlight it, copy and paste it, watch, I'm going to copy it and paste it again, and you can't see where it went. Now it automatically goes to the image on the right. So if I pull this, there's 2 on top of each other. Did you guys see that? So that was really cool. Alright, now what we're going to do is I'm just going to do 4 right now, and I will do more later when I'm off screen with you guys. Now you can go into, let's see, the shape properties, and if you click on one of these, you can, on the left hand side, you can use all of these different shape properties. You can also do autofill, and where you can apply autofill with your width and height, you can change the size of paper that you're using right there, which I think is really cool. And now we're just going to cut this. Now, I have my machine. You guys are going to see my messy office. I hope that's okay. So I'm going to reset up my computer and my camera so you can see the Cricut Mini along with what I'm doing on my computer. So here's my new Cricut Mini, and it's small, it's lightweight, it's easy to use, it's very, like I said, simplified. Now, I wasn't sure what I was going to think about the Cricut Mini. Honestly, I didn't think I'd need it. I didn't think I'd use it. I love my Cricut Expression. I love my Cricut Imagine, my Cricut Expression 2. But I actually really love this when I'm in my office or if I'm downstairs in the kitchen, just grabbing my computer and grabbing my Cricut Mini and just my bag of paper. And then I can, when my kids are watching TV or dinner's cooking, I can quickly cut some things out, which is really super awesome. I love it. Okay, so now let's go over to, you guys are going to see my messy room. Da, 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 da. But maybe you're not. Ha! Maybe you're not. Alright, this is simply what I'm going to do, is I'm going to press cut on the top right. Do you see where it says cut? And now here it says to pick your machine. And it recognizes that I have the Cricut Mini plugged in, so I click on that, click select device, and now it's all ready to go. All I need to do is hit cut right here. And then it says, insert the cutting mat, apply light pressure, and press the load button on the Cricut Mini. So let's go over here. Dun, da, da, da. This is so old school filming for me. I don't miss this part. Okay. Alright, so what you're going to do is put your mat in, and this is an 8.5 by 12 inch mat. 8.5 by 12 inch, and I have the paper on it. I have my blade set to 4 because I'm using thinner paper. This was actually from Hobby Lobby, so it's kind of thinner cardstock. And this is where you do your pressure. All the way forward is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I'm going to actually do my pressure on, I'm going to do it on 5. So I have my pressure on 5 and my blade on 4. Now this button over here on the right, which you cannot see because it's out of my video. There we go. We're going to press this button and it's loading our mat. Now watch how this cuts. I'm going to zoom in for you guys. There are quite a bit of intricate cuts on here. And it goes really slow during the intricate parts. Instead of, you know, the speed always being the same and not knowing how to detect what's intricate and what's not, this seems to really detect what is. And then it goes fast around the outside when it needs to, and it cuts it perfectly. I just love it. So it's not, it doesn't sound like your regular Cricut machine or your Cricut Expression or your Imagine. It's a lot quieter, so if you are, maybe you need to put this in your bedroom and while your husband's sleeping and you're not tired yet, you can go ahead and Cricut, you know, it won't wake anybody up. For me, I'm honestly going to use this more in my kitchen and more in my studio when I don't want to get up and use my, you know, regular Cricut machines, which I absolutely love. I love, this is not replacing anything for me. Now, if you don't have any machines, this is a great machine to start with, and you might eventually want to move up to the Cricut Expression because it's nice having the 12 by 12 mat. But this one is not bad. It's not as small as the 6 by 12, so you can add more images on, which is fabulous. And if you use a lot of 8.5 by 11 cardstock like I do, this is great for that as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and unload the mat when this is finished cutting, and I'll show you how well it cut. Alright, my machine just finished cutting. And on the right hand side, I'm going to use the unload load button. Let's move it over here so you can see right there. And it's going to spit this out. I'm going to turn off my machine and just slide it out of the way. It's very light, like I said. And just show you what these look like cut. Okay, so I'm going to peel off my mat, off my paper, my extra paper. And now you're going to want to use a Cricut spatula if you have one. If you don't have one, it's a great investment. Let me fix my camera. Okay, what we're going to do here is I'm using my Cricut spatula, and remember there's very intricate cuts on the center, in the center of this. I'm pulling it up in the middle, and then on the other side I'm going to come around and use my spatula, and look at that. There's not one ragged. You know, sometimes it's ragged. There's not one ragged cut on it. It cut it perfectly. And, you know, this little baby, it actually packs a punch. So let's go ahead and I will continue by showing you the rest of the the rest of my project, which is a Christmas holiday theme, but it's Christmas in Paris cupcakes. So let's go ahead and finish that. I'll make my cupcakes for you guys. Okay, everybody, this is Robin. I'm in my kitchen now, so I'm going to show you really quick my peppermint frosting recipe, because around the holidays, Christmas time, you make a lot of peppermint things. And so I actually made up this peppermint cream cheese recipe for frosting, and I've posted the recipe on my blog, but I thought I'd show you guys and show you how I actually put it on top of a cupcake. I'm going to show you my beautiful cupcake. Let me grab a beautiful one. So this is a chocolate cupcake recipe, and I just made this recipe up today also. I used the vanilla recipe that I posted about a week ago, and I added some chocolate and some melted chocolate bark. I think it's called chocolate bark. I melted that and I added it as well, and it is so delicious. I don't think I've ever had a chocolate cupcake as yummy as that, and I haven't had it with the frosting yet. I just tried a little taste. Okay, so this is what you're going to need for Robin's peppermint cream cheese frosting. You're going to need lots of powdered sugar, because you use a lot of powdered sugar, and you also need cream cheese. It doesn't have to be the Philadelphia brand, it can be whatever. I have about a half cup of milk here, but we might not use all of that. When I make my frosting, I just kind of do it as I go. And then you're going to need some pure peppermint extract. That's how you get the peppermint flavor in there. Okay, so let's head on over to my mixer. Alright, now we have our mixer ready. We're going to take our cream cheese, and I have not softened this. I find with my KitchenAid mixer, I don't need to soften my cream cheese. There you go. Throw it in here, and now I'm just going to put it on like the low speed. You guys can see that really well. Low speed, and then I turn it up just a little bit, and that creams my cream cheese. So when I say on my recipes, cream cheese cream, this is what I mean. So you can do a little higher if you want. Okay, now this is where it starts getting a little bit messy. When I do my frosting, I do 1 cup of powdered sugar at a time. Say ho ho ho! Hoo hoo hoo! Okay, go have fun playing! We have Santa Claus on the loose in our home. He's telling me what I need for Christmas. Okay, this is cup number 4. You hear him singing that? You better watch out. You better not cry. Hey, come sing that for us.
You better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout and anyway. I'm coming to town. I'm making a list and checking it twice. I'm gonna find out who's naughty or nice. I am coming to town. I see you when you're sleeping, I know when you're awake. I know when you're been bad or good, so good, for goodness sake. Oh, you better watch out, you better not cry, you better not pout, I'm telling you why. I am coming to town.
Yay! Take a bow, Santa, take a bow. Take a bow.
Woo, woo, woo.
So instead of adding 8 cups, I realized I only needed 1 more instead of 2, so I've added 7. Okay, now of the peppermint extract, I'm going to add 2 teaspoons. So 1, and I know I should be using a measuring thing here. So if you're measuring spoon at home, do 2 to 3 teaspoons of the extract. And that's going to actually make it a little bit more soft, a little more liquidy. So I might want to add about maybe 1/4 cup. Let's feel this out. I like it really stiff so it doesn't, that's perfect. Now, I had a request tonight to make this frosting, but I had a request not to make it pink, to leave it white. So we're going to leave this white. And I'm adding a little bit more, I want this really to be nice and stiff on the top of my cupcake. I'm going to show you what I used for my frosting. Here's my frosting bowl. Here's my frosting tip, and I got this online. Let me read to you. This one says it's a 9P by Bakery Crafts. So 9P is the size of this. And then I just use a pastry bag. This is an 18-inch featherweight decorating bag. I used to say bag growing up. This is from Wilton. So what you're going to do is, what I've done is just cut the tip off. I've got frosting on my hand already. You guys see how I just push this through? So I don't have to put a coupling or anything on there. And then I fold down my bag. And now I'm taking my frosting. I'm not going to do all of this. Usually I fill up the whole entire bag with the frosting that I have. I have enough. I'm going to just get it all down at the bottom. Didn't know I was a baker, did you? Neither did my family. What a surprise it was when I learned how to bake 15 years after our marriage. Isn't that funny? Okay, I'm going to take one of my cupcakes here. I have this all pushed down here. And what I do is I squeeze it like this on my left hand. So I squeeze it. And I'm right-handed. So what I'm going to do is, do you see how it's coming out of the tip? I'm going to squeeze it down, swirl it, and bring it up. And I'm going to do a different angle too, so you can see both angles. Alright, here's the different angle so you can see it from the side as I'm doing it from the top. So I'm squeezing it, and I'm down here, squeezing it, bringing it around, bringing it up, and bringing it through. You see that? So fun. And now we're going to go ahead and put the Eiffel Tower on top of these. Okay, I'm just going to finish these up. So look at how easy these are, and so my friend Mary will be very happy because I did little Eiffel Towers, because everything she does has a theme. Okay, Santa, are you ready to close this up?
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys
I'm gonna help with you.
You are? Okay, hold on one sec. This is the video that never ends. Yes, it goes on and on, my friend. Okay, yes, I do need to add a tag to this lovely creation using my Pink Stamper stamps. I'm using my Pink Stamper Winter Punnies. It was released last year, and I'm using Sparkle. I'm going to show you really quick, in under a minute, how you can emboss with my stamps as well. This is wet embossing. I'm using a gold pigment pad. I'm going to ink up my stamp. Now this embossing pad is kind of old, so I'm hoping it's nice and juicy. I'm going to get my gold powder, ready to go, or whatever color I grabbed. And I cut this with a tag from my Cricut. I actually used the Cricut Mini really quick. I love that Cricut Mini, oh my goodness, and I'm not even kidding. Okay, Sparkle. And now I'm going to put some embossing powder on here without making too big of a mess. And I should be using my little tweezer bee things. Instead, I will opt to get it under my fingernails. Shake it off, flick it off. Ah! But just don't flick it across the table. Okay, now I have the word Sparkle. It's got powder on it. And I'm going to use my heat gun really quick. Is this quick or what? And I'm going to start at one end, not where my finger is. And do that side first. You see that? That's so awesome! And I'm going to switch and try not to burn myself. You should really be using tweezer bees. Okay, so I have the word Sparkle, and we're going to incorporate this on the cupcake display. And I will show you the final pictures later. Bye! Okay, here's my Eiffel Tower cupcake with my nice sparkle tag. And there's my Cricut Mini in the background. Just sits right next to my computer on my desk. Hope you guys have an awesome day and enjoy our 12 days of Christmas. We'll see you soon. Bye. 2, go.
My Pink Stamper said Merry Christmas.
Ho, ho, ho.
Ho, ho, ho.
Smile.